I call the meeting of the Elections Conference Committee back to order. Thank you for your patience. We had some good meetings as separate caucuses, and then the chairs and staff met, and think we have reached agreement on major provisions. So we will have our nonpartisan staff kind of go through that. There are a couple different spreadsheets. There's one spreadsheet time-stamped 1:40 p.m. that includes the policy, the various provisions we'll be going through and adopting. Budget is at the end, so we'll have staff go through each of these documents probably in the order they appear on this spreadsheet. And then when we get to the budget item, we will have our fiscal staff go through the budget spreadsheet as well, so everyone's aware of what's in there. So I will just give them a moment to get set up here. And I guess if you just want to identify yourselves for the record, that would be helpful when you're ready.
Mr. Chair, I'm Matt Gehring from House Research.
Mr. Chair, Lexi Stengel, Senate Counsel.
Thank you. And
Mr. Chair, I think what we'll do to guide you through this chart is just to go row by row based on line number. And this is the document that's been posted that includes both the summary description that we used when we did the walkthrough of the side-by-side. And there's now a new column that says proposed action. And so we'll kind of prompt you to each of those motions as we go through. Some of those rows have been previously adopted by the conference committee, so we're just going to highlight the
Can you maybe
motions.
move your mic a little closer, Mr. Gehring?
Yes, sorry. We'll go through the chart using the proposed action column, and we'll highlight the sections to be adopted and where there are amendments or oral amendments to be adopted that would be incorporated within those sections. So then, Mr. Chair, the first row on the proposed action chart is row 1, the local government .gov domains. The proposal here is to adopt Senate sections 3 and 91 with one oral amendment on line 57.3 of the Senate language, delete elections shall and insert absentee voting must.
Okay. Is it sufficient for me just to say so moved? Okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion prevails.
And then the next row, row 2, relates to school board vacancies. The proposal here is to adopt House Section 1 with the following amendment on line 2.22. After the period, insert this paragraph does not apply if the vacancy occurs after candidate filing begins pursuant to Section 205A.06 in the year preceding the end of the term.
Okay, any discussion to that motion? I will move it. So moved. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion prevails.
And then row 3, as you see on the chart, was previously adopted by the conference committee. That is true of row 4 and 5 on page 2 also. And row 6, these are the miscellaneous election administration provisions that were previously adopted. There is one motion here to reconsider language related to the American Translator Association that was previously adopted by the conference committee. So the motion, Mr. Chair, would be to amend House line 25.24 after must insert use the American Translator Association or employed by the Office of Enterprise Translation established in section 16B.373 or must.
Okay, I'll move reconsideration of the previously adopted language with the amendment that's mentioned in the spreadsheet. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion is adopted.
And then, Mr. Chair, row 7 and 8 were previously adopted by the conference committee. Row 9 also was previously adopted by the conference committee.
On row 10, the proposal is to adopt House Section 14 with the amendment on House line 16.21 after sufficient, insert the phrase for the county auditor.
Okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
Line 11, the proposal is to adopt Senate Section 24.
Okay, so moved. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
On line 12, this is the temporary polling place on post-secondary institutions, and the proposal is to adopt the A24 amendment, which is in packets.
Okay, I think Senator Bolden was going to move the A24 amendment.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I would offer the A24 amendment.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
On the next page, on line 13, the proposal is to adopt Senate Section 37.
Okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
On line 14, relating to presidential electors, the proposal is to adopt House Section 52 with the amendment as follows. On House line 40.14, after the period, insert the following sentence. The governor must alert the members of the Capitol Press Corps of the location where the electors will meet.
Okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
On line 15, related to presidential elector contests, the motion is to adopt the Senate sections.
Okay, so moved. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
On row 16, the proposal is to adopt the Senate sections with the following changes. On page R43, on Senate page 52, line 30, before the word cell, insert personal, and to make the same change on R48, Senate line, page 57, line 15, so it refers to a personal cell phone.
Okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
On line 17, the motion, or the proposal is to accept the House position.
Okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
On line 18, relating to deep fakes, the proposal is to adopt House sections 55, 56, 63, 64, and the amendment, the House Amendment A52, which is in packets.
Okay, I think Senator Westland was going to move this one.
So moved.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
And Mr. Chair, to be clear, was that just the A52 amendment, or was that to move the sections as well?
I think that was all of that, unless staff feels that was not sufficient.
Just making sure everybody was, I think it was
Okay.
sufficient to move everything, just making sure everybody was on the same page.
Okay,
And then on line 19, relating to the restoration of voting rights notice, the proposal is to adopt Senate Section 87 and the portion of Senate Section 102 that repeals Section 243.205.
okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
Then, Mr. Chair, row 20 is the language that relates to the county sheriff and county attorney vacancies. The proposal here is to adopt Senate sections 88 and 89.
Okay, so moved. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then, Mr. Chair, lastly, within this article is the repealer related to the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners, which was previously adopted by the conference committee, so no action is needed there. The next category in this chart is the Minnesota Voting Rights Act, and there's one amendment that covers most of this language. This is the HF4772 A43 amendment.
Okay, Representative Greenman, I think, was going to move the A43.
I would move the A43 and just note that it reflects, most of the language it was in both of the side-by-sides, but we did it as a DE because we thought that that was cleaner.
Okay, so the A43 has been moved. Is there any additional discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then, Mr. Chair, there's one more section related to the Voting Rights Act, the A55 amendment. This is the section that inserts the policy related to the Voting Rights Act cost-sharing account. So the appropriations will appear in the separate amendment that has the spreadsheet and money in it. This is the policy that creates the account that allows the money to be spent.
Okay. I believe Representative Greenman was going to move this.
I would move what number is it?
55.
The A55, and just note that this was the language that was passed in the elections budget bill, setting up the account.
Okay, the A55 has been moved. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then, Mr. Chair, we move into the campaign finance provisions of the bill. Row 36 is the campaign finance provisions impacting local candidates and campaigns. The proposal here is to accept Senate Sections 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and 102, the repealers that affect Chapter 211A, and also Senate Sections 4, 5, and 10. And then within this motion, you'd also be agreeing to adopt January 1st, 2025 effective date for each section.
Okay, I will make that motion. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then next, Mr. Chair, row 37 is the electioneering communications language. This is all contained in Amendment A57.
Okay, I believe Representative Greenman was going to move.
I would move the A57.
Okay, any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then row 38 is the lobbying provisions that relate to lobbying of political subdivisions. The proposal here is to accept House Sections 1, 2, and 3 with the exclusion in House Section 2 of lines 49.28 to 49.31.
Okay, I will make that motion. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then row 39 was a Senate-only section related to principal reporting requirements. This proposal here is to adopt Senate Section 9.
Okay, I will make that motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No
Motion.
discussion?
Discussion? Let's do that again. So, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, keep me honest.
On line 40, relating to campaign finance penalties, the proposal is to adopt Senate Sections 11 and 17.
Okay, I will make that motion. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
On line 41, related to state and local lobbying activity study, the proposal is to adopt the A54 amendment.
Okay, I think Representative Vernig was going to make that motion.
Yeah, I'd like to move the A54, please.
Okay, any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
On line 42, related to census worker access, that was previously adopted, so no action is required. On line 43, related to incarcerated persons redistricting, the proposal is to adopt House Section 2 and Senate Sections 86 and 98.
Okay, I will make that motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
And Mr. Chair, that takes us into some additional sections to be considered by the conference committee. On line 43 through 46, there are four items that we can walk through in a little more detail, and they are all contained in the A25 amendment.
Okay, so Chair Carlson, I believe you were going to move the A25 amendment.
Mr. Chair, I move the A25 amendment.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
Then,
Okay. Mr. Chair, the next row is row 47. This is language related to electronic databases of notaries and modifications related to the notary stamp. This is Amendment A48.
Okay, this is the A48 amendment. I believe Senator Westland, you were going to move this
Thank you,
one.
Mr. Chair. I'd like to move the A48 amendment. Again, this has to do with notaries. Probably the most important part of this amendment is the fact that any stamp that complies currently will not have to be renewed or changed until after the term, when it will then have our new state seal on it.
Correct, and I would also add that, yeah, I carried this bill, and it becomes important as of tomorrow because we will have a new state seal officially as of tomorrow. So thank you for that motion. Any additional discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then, Mr. Chair, row 48 reflects an amendment to A56 that adopts several amendments that were adopted to the House Elections Finance Bill on the House floor. This includes a requirement that the Secretary of State use the Social Security Death Index for updating voter registrations. It requires candidates to present a proof of residence when filing for office, and it prohibits candidates from making a personal loan to their campaign with terms that would require the campaign to pay back interest on that loan. So this is the A56 amendment, and there's also an oral amendment that Ms. Dangle can describe.
Sure.
Mr. Chair, the oral amendment, there are two pieces to the oral amendment. The first piece is on page 1, line 19. After the word candidates, insert current, so it reads candidate's current address. And the second piece is on page 2, line 2, after the period, insert the sentence, if the address on the affidavit and the documentation do not match, comma, the filing officer must not accept the affidavit. I'll read that again. If the address on the affidavit and the documentation do not match, comma, the filing officer must not accept the affidavit.
Okay, thank you. And so I'm going to make this motion. Is it sufficient if I move the A56 with the incorporation of the oral amendment? Okay, I will make that motion, and just for the record, these three provisions reflect amendments that were offered by GOP members during the House floor debate on the budget bill. I thought they had some really good ideas, so I'm glad we were able to incorporate them. I don't know whether that will be enough to give this bill a bipartisan vote in support. I certainly hope so, but regardless, I think these were good ideas incorporated on the floor, and I appreciate the willingness of the conference committee to adopt them. So any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
And then, Mr. Chair, the last row on this chart is the A27 amendment. This relates to the appropriations and the spreadsheet, so I may defer to Mr. Erickson and Ms. Roberts to walk through the detail there if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah, if fiscal staff could go through the details, that'd be great.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. There should be a spreadsheet time-stamped May 10th at 1:31 PM in your packets reflecting a conference agreement on how to spend the elections target. Lines 8 and 9 are ending the base for the voting equipment grant account and Dropbox grant base. The amounts that were going for those grant programs is being repurposed for an increase in the transfer to the voter account, the Voting Operations Technology and Election Resources account created in last year's bill. That's on line 6, where you'll see that 1.75 million carrying across all fiscal years. There's additionally an extra $86,000 in fiscal year '25. On line 7, you will see $200,000 in fiscal year '25 for college campus polling location reimbursements, which provides the funding for the policy that Mr. Gehring described in the A24. The funding for that in the tails is $40,000 for fiscal year '26 and all other even-numbered fiscal years, and $110,000 in fiscal year '27 and odd-numbered fiscal years. Then on line 12, you'll see there is a transfer into the Voting Rights Act cost-sharing account that Mr. Gehring described in the A55. It's a special revenue account that is set up as a cost-sharing account for claims arising out of the VRA. That is $144,000 in fiscal year '25, and then $25,000 each year ongoing. And then finally, on lines 15 and 16 are two one-time appropriations to the Campaign Finance and Public Disclosure Board, $20,000 for the candidate finance reporting requirements of Article 4, and then a $50,000 one-time for campaign treasurer online training development. And then you'll see down on the bottom on line 34 that meets the committee's target of $500,000 in the current biennium and $200,000 in the tails.
Okay, thank you. And Willip, just to get the motion before us, Chair Carlson was going to make the motion. Is it just sufficient to move the A27 amendment, or should we incorporate the spreadsheet in that too?
Mr. Chair, the numbers in the spreadsheet are incorporated in the A27, so you can just move the A27.
Sure, then Chair,
Mr. Chair, move the A27 amendment.
okay, thank you. Chair Carlson has moved the A27 amendment, which incorporates the budget. Is there any discussion to this? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails.
Then, Mr. Chair, that's the last item on the chart, so unless the conference committee has other items that they'd like to have included, the next step would be to adopt a motion that directs staff to prepare a conference report that reflects the action of the conference committee, and then also authorize staff to make technical and conforming changes necessary to reflect the conference committee's intent.
Sure. So I will motion for nonpartisan in the revisor's office to prepare the elections conference committee report with the direction that staff make any technical corrections as necessary. That's a sufficient motion? Okay, any discussion to that? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails. I think maybe that's it. So thank you so much to our staff in particular for staying up at long hours to put this together. We would not be able to do this without you. Thank you to all the conferees. I think this has been a good experience. Does anybody have any closing remarks or anything you'd like to say? Representative Greenman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just say that we are probably the best conference committee, looking around nodding agreement. So I don't know if I can make a motion on that, but thank you both for chairing it.
Chair Carlson, please.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I have to say that this is the best I've ever encountered as well. But I want to thank, the staff who has worked so hard on getting this done, and especially the financial people, because we stayed within our target. So this is something where, that's something where I don't know if everyone else, all the other committees are going to stay within their targets, but we did.
Yeah, we didn't have a huge target, so it would have been very, very easy to have gone over, so thank you. Okay, well, with that, there's no other business. I guess stay tuned for the next steps in this when we get the report, members of the committee, but seeing with no further business before us, we are adjourned.